This video will show you how to replace the Upstream O2 sensor on a Chrysler Town Country. This will be located along the rear of your engine. Let's get into it. Okay friend, let's get started on our job. The first thing we want to mention is since the O2 sensor is connected to the exhaust, we want to make sure everything's cool to the touch. Assuming it is, let's make our way along the back side of the engine right along the passenger side. So as we make our way along the back side of the engine, along the passenger side, we're looking for the electrical connector for our O2 sensor. Now this could typically be mounted in some way. As you can tell, ours has become dislodged. Typically it would slide onto this stud along the back side of the valve cover. Now as far as this electrical connector, you're going to have a locking tab. We want to squeeze it in and separate the two parts from each other. Once you have it disconnected, of course, a quick inspection from each side of the wiring harness. The side that's attached to the wiring harness itself might be a little difficult to have a quick look into. You can use a mirror if necessary. Now with that said, we're going to follow the wiring all the way down towards our exhaust, which is where the O2 sensor goes into it. Now to remove the O2 sensor from the exhaust, you're going to have an O2 sensor socket, a swivel, and an extension. Now up along the top, I'm going to be using a 1/2-inch drive ratchet. We'll turn this counterclockwise. Once we have it broken free, we should be able to fully unscrew it from the exhaust pipe. Now to install the Upstream O2 sensor, let's have a quick look at the threaded area. Your brand new O2 sensor should have some anti-seize on the threads. A quick note about that anti-seize, make sure none of it gets on the sensing agent. Now with that said, let's carefully make our way down along the back side of the engine so we can start installing the O2 sensor into the exhaust pipe. Prior to installing any brand new part, of course we want to make sure we clean and inspect the mounting area. We've already inspected the electrical connector. Let's quickly inspect the pipe. For this, I'm going to be using a clean piece of sandpaper. We'll give this a light scuffing. Just a quick inspection there. We want to double check to make sure it's a flat mating surface and the threads inside of the port have not been damaged. This looks good. Let's get ready for our installation. Now we're lining this up. We're turning it clockwise by hand. We need to make sure it's starting in properly and not cross-threaded in the wrong positioning. Once you have that bottomed out, we're going to torque it to 30 foot-pounds. There we go. Now we'll continue on to our electrical connector. So as for our electrical connector, we're going to make sure that we attach this in the proper positioning here. Just line up the locking tab areas, press it together. An audible click from that, a light tug. Now that I have that connected, we would want to make sure that it's secured in the proper placement along the corner of the valve cover here. Now, as I mentioned during the removal process, mine is actually damaged. I want to make sure this is secured so it does not hang down and potentially hit up against my manifold. So I'm just going to use a wire tie. Of course, we'll trim off any excess there and dispose of that properly. Make sure the wiring's not hitting up against that exhaust. This looks good. Okay, friend, we finished the installation of our vehicle's Upstream O2 sensor. At this point, make your way inside the passenger compartment, start the vehicle, make sure you have no exhaust leak, no check engine light, and no running condition. Aside from that, close the hood, take your vehicle for a road test. Thanks for watching.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.